In Baldur's Gate 3, Raphael is a key character whose story is closely linked with the main characters throughout the entire game. Upon their initial encounter, Raphael intriguingly offers the protagonists a way out of their predicament, proposing a visit to his House of Hope to strike a deal. His proposal to rid them of the invasive tadpole in their brains stands out, not just for its sincerity, but for being one of the few genuine resolutions to their dire situation. Raphael, an ancient devil, is the keeper of a crucial artifact known as the Orphic Hammer, the singular object capable of shattering the stones binding Orpheus, the Prince of Comet in Astral Plane. Orpheus stands out because he is one of the few characters not influenced by the Elder Brain, giving players hope of stopping the Elder Brain's plan to destroy the world. As the story progresses into the earlier segments of Act 3, the heroes cross paths with Raphael once more. This time, he offers them the Orphic Hammer for free, under the condition that they relinquish the crown of Karsus to him after their eventual triumph over the Elder Brain. The crown of Karsus, a legendary artifact crafted by the divine arcanist Karsus himself, bestows upon its bearer the power to command magical forces without being affected by the weave, essentially granting dominion over the world. If players decide to strike a bargain with Raphael, they will have to give him the crown at the end of the story and face the consequences of their decision. However, an alternative route to acquiring the hammer exists, requiring a journey to the first layer of Avernus via a demonic ritual to Raphael's place named House of Hope. This place, where Raphael guards his treasures and eternal debtors, ironically bears the name of Hope, a character who rejected Raphael's love, prompting him to imprison her forever as revenge. The heroes are tasked with liberating Hope by stealing the Orphic Hammer from Raphael's vault to shatter her physical bonds. After you free Hope and are about to leave the house with the hammer, Raphael shows up with powerful allies, one of whom is Corilla, Hope's sister, to block your escape. During this battle, you are supported by 3 companions and Hope. Plus, if you succeed in some charisma checks, you can persuade one of Raphael's allies to switch sides and help you. The battle unfolds in a grand gothic chamber, echoing the aesthetics of a cathedral, where the battle is punctuated by a theatrical blend of organ sounds and Corilla's hunting vocals, setting the stage for Raphael's final stand. As Raphael sings his ominous song, the fight turns into a dramatic scene, putting him at the center of attention. The battle starts as Corilla begins to perform a song a cappella in minor key. She sings,
"Lives, all mortal lives, expire. Souls go to their dooms in flame forevermore."
In this scenario, there are 2 elements that evoke fear in the player. The first is the downward leap of Corilla's hunting vocals in the scale, which is often associated with danger and fear. The second element is the song's lyrics, which directly threaten players with the ominous face of their souls expiring and becoming eternally imprisoned in hell. The presence of Corilla on the battlefield and starting the battle confidently with a threatening song could signify that the battle is going to be a difficult one. After the first line of lyrics, the organ sounds start to accompany Corilla's singing. After she finishes her monologue, the organ melody links to Raphael's part in the song. Here, we need to pay attention to the significance of using an organ as an instrument for the battle. Karen Cook, a scholar in video game music, argues that the organ has a polyvalent function in medievalist narratives, indicating safety, healing, or a wedding. Yet it can also connote an atmosphere of antiquity or a sense of prestige associated with elite individuals. In a more general Gothic sense, however, an organ can create a heightened sense of danger or evil. This is exactly the function of organ in Raphael's final act. Raphael is an elite devil, posing a significant threat to the protagonist with his formidable skills and powers. After Corilla's initial performance, organ and choir repeat Corilla's a cappella melody. According to Karen Cook, The wordless voice is linked to plain chant and thus to Christianity, further establishing a link to cathedral settings. Just like the organ, wordless voices can, through their topical association, through previous media, represent a multitude of meanings, such as sacredness, danger, and evil. Moreover, they can represent disembodied sounds that are indicators of a spectral presence. Musicologist Alexander Kulasa argues that ritual chant can simulate movement between earthly and unearthly planes. Considering this, the voices we hear could be the diegetic chanting of an unseen presence. During our venture through the House of Hope, we encounter some of Raphael's eternal debtors in form of infernal skeletons that roam the palace. We also see an area that looks like a soul chamber. It is not particularly challenging to associate the wordless voices we hear during the fight with these spectral beings that haunt the halls of the House of Hope. After the chorus ends, Raphael, the star of the show and evidently a self-obsessed character, jumps in to sing the remainder of the song. As the title of the song and fight implies, this is Raphael's final act, an act in which he will reveal his ultimate power. Raphael starts singing,
Hell, hell, hell has its laws. Hell, hell, effect in the cause. Curtain falls, but hold your applause. Squirm, squirm, for now down here come the claw.
In this fight, Raphael is trying to defeat you, not only with his claws, but also with the art of his rhyming poetry. He likens the stage of the battle to a theater where he assumes the leading role. The setting of the battle invokes a sense of medievalism and pastness. It unfolds in a cathedral-like room decorated with large stone walls, windows, and candelabras that echo the gothic architecture typically associated with medieval times. This particular design helps us to more clearly perceive the connection between the use of the organ and wordless voices and the gothic elements such as evil and fear associated with them. Raphael puts a specific emphasis on the words he utters during the song. Instead of singing them, he uses lyrics as spoken words each time in a rising pitch to create tension. As Raphael's part ends, the music loops back to Corilla's part, this time accompanied by French horn and bells.
Lives, all mortal lives, expire. Souls go to their dooms in flame forevermore.
Karen Cook argues that in medieval times, bells indicated sanctity, safety, and order. At the same time, they could also indicate the supernatural, disruption, danger, and death. In Raphael's final act, we have the latter use of bells. They disrupt the sense of peace and order, instilling fear in the players. We can also hear percussion instruments and brass swells in the second part of the song, indicating tension and a sense of unease. In Raphael's final act, music serves to confound the difficulty by instilling tension in the players. According to Alexander Kulasa, music and sound extend the materiality of an ostensibly visual monster. It is not only Corilla and Raphael singing that intensifies the atmosphere of the battle. The bowls, the choir, the organ, and the brass swells also add to this intensity. The song reaches its climax when Corilla and Raphael, in an operatic style, phrase the final word of the lyrics.
No more deals, it's over. The final act, you're doomed. No more grace, it's over. This house of hope.
As you have just heard, you can hear the central theme of Baldur's Gate 3 in the last few seconds as the song comes to a dramatic finish. The aesthetics of the battle thus give Raphael a status that dominates the scene. This is the reversal of the usual trope we see in role-playing games and medieval movies, in which most of the attention is set on the heroes or protagonists. Thank you for watching my video. Support for this project is provided by the Game Music 101 Research Group. This project is also supported in part by funding from the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council of Canada.